Okay, so, all
I
right.
think we're missing one person. We're missing Jeremy, actually. So let's not begin. Act 1, Scene 3.
Lorena, can you get that, please?
No change. In the dark, we hear Tortsov's calling out softly.
Lorena? Lorena!
A spotlight now shines on Tortsov. He's standing over the author, who's fallen asleep in the front row, sitting among the audience. He looks at her, his expression tender, then pulls off his fake mustache and wig, revealing his true appearance. Tortsov calls Lorena again and softly touches the author's face, trying to wake her. She sits up suddenly, startled.
Cesar.
The author sees Tortsov but doesn't notice the change.
Oh, hi, Tortsov. You're late.
I'm not late. You're early.
Early. Oh, I almost forgot.
She reaches quickly for the book and backpack. Startling the people around her, she apologizes and addresses Tortsov, showing him the book.
I figured it out, Tortsov. I figured it out.
What?
I figured out why I had you sitting in a student chair.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Well, I was looking through the book last night and I was thinking how odd it was that I had sat you down in a student chair when in reality you've become my teacher. Then I started reading the preface out loud and it talked about how Stanislavski represented himself in the book as both the student, Kostya, and the teacher, you. And then it hit me. I obviously wanted Stanislavski to teach me how to write, but I didn't want his student side. I wanted you, the director. Perhaps by sitting Tortsov in a student's chair, I would, I don't know, recreating Stanislavski on another level. Does that make sense?
Of course. You have discovered somewhat by accident how successful the subconscious can be if one does not interfere with it.
The subconscious.
Tortsov starts heading for the stage and the author follows.
Right. The very best that can happen is to have the author completely carried away by the story. Regardless of their own will, the author lives apart, not thinking about what she does, and it all moves on its own accord, subconsciously and intuitively.
Oh, Tortsov, of course. Yesterday, when I saw the unicorn scene, you know what it reminded me of? Waves. My house is a block away from Virginia Beach, and when I was little, I used to sneak out to a little secluded place I knew and just sit on a sand dune and stare at the ocean for hours. I know you won't believe me, but I could almost swear I saw unicorns in the foam. And what you said just now, well, it makes me wonder, could there be a subconscious reason for the unicorn scene? What is my intuition trying to tell me?
We hear the sound of an airplane once more. Then a phone rings, as if in another room. A spotlight now captures little Lorena, coloring on the floor behind them, humming. She is now 9 years old. Norma calls out to her off stage.
Lorena, can you get that, please?
Little Lorena does nothing. The phone continues to ring.
Will you stop bringing up scenes from my diary?
Me? I haven't done anything. You're the one who asked the question.
Before the author can say anything, Tortsov starts pulling her off the stage again, a finger on his lips.
Lorena, your cousin's out on the beach and I need to take him a towel. I'll be right back. Get the phone.
Little Lorena looks up, but the phone stops ringing. She looks back down at her drawing. We hear Cesar's off stage.
Lorenita, are you ready?
The lights on stage start to reveal inside the Norma's house, painting a soft lilac. Cesar, who is now 13, suddenly enters and goes to put a record on the record player. Lorena stops coloring and sits up.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I asked the man at the record store to order it just for me.
The song Shall We Dance from Rodgers and Hammerstein's musical The King and I begins to play. Lorena puts her feet on top of Cesar's and they begin to dance softly as Cesar sings with the music. Lorena giggles happily. Then, as the music crescendos, he says, "Now," and they start to dance wildly around the room, the spotlight following them, until suddenly they step outside of the light during one of the turns. But when Lorena returns, she returns alone, dancing with an imaginary partner. The music suddenly dies with a scratch as the lights are brought up. Lorena turns to find Norma standing by the record player, watching her. Embarrassed, Lorena runs back to where she was sitting. Norma walks over and sits by her.
I see you were daydreaming again. Nothing wrong with that, as long as that homework gets done. Lorena, do you miss Cesar?
No, I miss my parents.
I know. But ever since Cesar left, well, you've been more quiet than usual. Daydreaming and dancing by yourself? When your mother and I were little, we used to love to dance, especially all those viejos boleros. They were so romantic and so sad at times. When I came over here for school, I used to bring over all the old records and Jenny would have a fit. She'd be left in Cuba without music and without a dance partner. Until she found your father. She didn't need me much more after that.
Lorena's eyes suddenly water.
Lorena, don't cry.
I'm not crying.
Lorena turns her head and wipes away a secret tear.
All right. Stop not crying then.
Norma goes to touch Lorena's hair, but Lorena shrugs off her hand and begins peeling the crayons.
Ay, chiquitica, what's wrong? I'm your aunt, Lorena. You can trust me. Okay, fine. I think I know what's wrong anyway.
Lorena doesn't look up, but her hands stop fiddling with the crayon.
I know that the last time you spoke with your mom on the phone, you got the impression that you would be reuniting soon.
Lorena grabs another crayon.
I want you to know that we are all trying to do what we can to see that happen. But something's happening in Cuba now that might postpone their reunion for a while longer.
That's not true. I told my parents that I wanted them to come. I wanted them to come now. And they said they would. They promised me they would.
Pero cariño, you don't understand the situation over there. There's nothing we can do right now. One of the people helping your mom and dad was kidnapped and we can't.
But I didn't want to go away. I wanted to stay with them. I wouldn't have cared what happened. It was better if we'd stayed together. But it doesn't matter anymore. 'Cause they're coming anyway. That's the way they're coming. They told me. They told me to keep an eye on the ocean because they might be here any minute.
Is that why you spent the last 2 days sitting out there, staring at the ocean? If I had made you sit here to finish your homework first, you'd probably be out there now, wouldn't you, Lorena? You can't truly expect your parents to come walking out of the sea. You're not a child anymore. Entiende, por favor. You know what? You didn't mind being here so much when Cesar was around. If you go back to Cuba, you won't be able to visit him anymore.
Yeah, like I can visit him in Orlando?
Lorena throws the crayon in the box. Norma shakes her head, half amused, half outraged.
Ay, Lorenita, you're drowning yourself in a glass of water, girl, and no one's worth drowning over. Not even cute little boys with enchanting brown eyes.
Norma puts a hand on Lorena's shoulder, but this time, Lorena doesn't move away. Norma smiles and hugs her closer, placing a kiss on her head.
We'll all be reunited one day, you'll see. Just imagine, your mom, your dad, Jose, you and me. Oh, and Cesar, of course.
Despite herself, Lorena smiles. Norma smirks and brushes back a lock of Lorena's hair.
Yeah, I knew you'd like that. And until then, I suppose it's all right to daydream. It makes the heart happy. If you think about it, it's almost like magic. That's why people read books, I guess. Sometimes imagining something can make it real.
The phone rings again, and Norma goes off stage. Little Lorena listens in on the conversation.
Hello? Yes, this is she. The Coast Guard. No, I wasn't aware that they had opened up the port at Camarioca. Dios mío. I could have sent Pancho's boat. What? No, they didn't tell me they were going to do that. Are they here?
Lorena starts jumping up and down, excited.
What? But if it sank, how can you be sure they were on it?
Lorena stops jumping and now walks slowly towards Norma's voice.
What belongings? Oh, no. They could have gotten off at the last minute and forgotten them. No. You can't tell me this. You can't be telling me this.
The moment is unusually long, almost eerie, as Lorena stares off stage, listening to Norma's crying. A soft, sad music starts to ebb in, like a wave.
Is there any hope of finding their bodies?
The music crescendos as Lorena takes in a long breath and shakes her head, crushing the crayon she had in her hand. She runs off stage then. The lights darken as we hear Norma's final words.
Oh God, no.
The author rushes in then, searching the darkness for little Lorena.
Lorena, don't interfere.
I've got to find her.
The stage transforms into a beach scene. We can hear the crashing of the waves. Little Lorena rushes in, stopping by a sand dune. The author runs towards her and kneels down next to her, Tortsov following close behind. Lorena looks at the author.
Any minute now, you'll see. They're gonna come running out of the water.
Before the author can respond, King Haggard and Lady Amalthea appear on the balconies, as if overlooking the ocean. Lady Amalthea still has the flower-shaped mark on her forehead, though she's now wearing a beautiful white gown. King Haggard, keeper of the bowl, is dressed in an olive green robe. He is an allusion to Fidel Castro, but only an illusion. No cigar or military hat. Schmendrick is seen hiding in the shadows, listening in. Haggard laughs and points to the ocean.
There they are.
Both the author and Tortsov look up, surprised to see him.
King Haggard?
But Haggard sees nothing except his unicorns.
Say that they are not your people. Say that you did not come here searching for them. Say now that you have stayed all winter in my castle for the love of my idiot son.
King Haggard almost points to Tortsov on the word son. Lady Amalthea remains silent.
They are mine. They belong to me. The Red Bull gathered them for me, one at a time, and I bade them drive each one into the sea. What better place could there be to keep unicorns? And what other cage could hold them? For the bull keeps guard over them, awake or asleep, and he daunted their hearts long ago. Now they live in the sea, and every tide still carries them within an easy step of land. But they dare not take that step. They dare not come out of the water. They are afraid of the Red Bull.
Any minute now, you'll see. They're gonna come running out of the water.
No, they won't. No, they won't.
The author now turns to King Haggard.
And you?
Haggard finally notices the author and seems confused at her accusation.
Yes, King Haggard, you. You did this to me. You did this to all of us. You forced them to send me away. You've destroyed my life. You destroyed the life of all my people.
I destroy people? Nay, the people love me. They support me. And the people never support a government without reason. The people never support their leaders without reason. But it doesn't matter. Condemn me. In history, I shall be absolved. I destroy people. Nay, it is the unicorns I want.
I don't care what you say. You've wrapped up the whole world in your words, and the world falls down at your feet in love. If only I had a third of your gift of words, a third of your magic. But even that you've taken all up for yourself. But I don't love you. I hate you. Did you hear me? I said I hate you!
Little Lorena, not having noticed Haggard, touches the author's arm.
Any minute now.
Oh, shut up. Don't you see? They're not coming.
They told me they would come. They told me they would come.
But they won't. You'll sit here, years waiting, hoping that the next wave will bring them in, but they never come. They never come.
But they promised. They promised.
They didn't mean to break their promise.
The sound of birds flying is heard as suddenly and slowly the spotlight on little Lorena turns to black light and her clothes begin to glow. We can now make out the circle on little Lorena's forehead, as if a horn were beginning to grow. Lady Amalthea's own marks glow as well. A soft mist rolls in.
Then why'd they send me away? Why they sent me away from them? I wanted to stay with them.
The author sees what's happening and grabs Lorena's shoulders, shaking her.
No, don't do it.
I was so scared. I was so scared. Cesar said he would stay with me, but now Cesar is gone. He's gone.
I wonder what will become of them when I'm gone. The Red Bull will forget about them immediately. I know, and off to find a new master. But I wonder if they will take their freedom even then. I hope not, for then they will belong to me forever.
The light on Lady Amalthea and Haggard slightly dim. The author softly grabs little Lorena's face.
Oh, please understand. You've got to make yourself understand.
Lorena,
No, leave me alone.
Little Lorena throws off the author's hands and jumps off the stand dune, running off stage, but away from the ocean. The author starts to follow, but Tortsov pulls her back.
No, let me go! Let me go!
no.
The author stops fighting and grabs onto him fiercely now, closing her eyes, crying. She sounds like a small child.
Don't leave me. Don't leave me alone.
I'm here.
Tortsov holds onto the author close as Haggard's spotlight brightened once more, his eyes dark with madness.
You are the last. The bull missed you because you were shaped like a woman. But I always knew. How did you manage the change, by the way? Your magician couldn't have done it. I don't think he could turn cream into butter.
Oh, sorry. Amathea, my lord, I do not understand. I see nothing at all in the water.
Do you still deny yourself? Do you dare deny yourself? Nay, that's as false and cowardly as though you were truly human. I'll hurl you down with your folk with my own hands if you deny yourself.
Haggard takes a menacing step forward, but Lady Amalthea never blinks. She stops, looks into her eyes, and he is taken back.
What cheat is this? How can it be? There are no green leaves in her eyes now. If you've become human, then there are truly no more unicorns left in this world.
A strange light now illuminates Haggard's face as he leans over the balcony, pointing towards the ocean.
See, there they are. There.
The author looks up and he speaks as if to her.
But, of course you don't see. They're not your people anymore. Now that they're in the water.
Haggard smiles wickedly, savoring it, lights out on the balconies.